Okay, I was wrong about episode 7. Koharu is not Kano's mom. I thought it was a cool theory. It's honestly a cool theory, but yes, in episode 8 of Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, we did see both of them. And the mom of Kano was still looking like herself that they showed, I think, in episode 2. So, yep, it looks like I was wrong. It's a different person. Again, it was a cool theory, but I guess we're going to go on the idea of her possibly being like a Yakuza or something like that, and she got out of that industry. I still do think that Koharu and Kano's mom do know each other. I have a feeling they know each other. Because by all accounts, it was showing that Koharu was trying to recruit Kiwi. And so it does obviously seem like she's maybe not in the same industry as Kano's mother, like in the idol industry and stuff like that, but she could be in the entertainment industry. And the idea of, yes, she could have been talking about the idea that the people that contact her all the time is guys, but I still kind of think that that's probably more of a producer of some sort, because it's sort of different when it comes to how people contact each other in Japan and how you get people's contact information. But anyways, still, that aside, bunch of cool things in this episode. Obviously, the major focus of this episode is, yes, a drama tuber has found Tachibana. The attack of the drama tuber. Somebody has discovered, based on 2 moles. Girl, you gotta stop showing your belly. Based on 2 moles, somebody found her. That is a hyper fan right there, if I ever seen one. If they know, yeah, that's right, Tachibana has 2 moles next to her belly button, so obviously this has got to be her. But yeah, the drama tubers coming after them, the hate coming after Tachibana, her past coming back to haunt her, and the fears that she has about how, despite the fact that all the other girls of Jelly have kind of supported her all along the way, her past is coming to haunt them and destroy what they've created. And she feels really bad about that. And then ultimately coming to the point where they overcome that drama and overflood the hatred in order to have success, which I think was a really cool little message there. They could have gotten much darker with it, and I'm sure they were probably going to get more in the future, but yes, I'm just going to go right into it and talk about it now. What is Kano's mother doing? What is she doing here? I have suspicions. I really do. I mean, again, it has never shown Kano's mother as being a nasty person. It's just the assumption, because the only side that we have of the story so far is from Kano. And she obviously, it never indicated that she hated her mother, but it's just that she's not connecting with her mother. Again, she said that she wanted to do what her mother wanted, which is to become this idol. That obviously failed. Some drama came up, and she disappeared. And they haven't communicated it seemingly to each other since then. But it never indicated that Kano hates her mother or that her mother is a bad person. Now, yeah, you could argue the idea that the lack of communication from her mother is sort of a bad sign. Like, a mother should be contacting her daughter on a regular basis, checking in on her, finding how she's doing. But again, this is what Kano has sort of decided to do. But yes, with the mother contacting Mahiru, there's a massive question mark right now of what is she doing? Now, based on that presentation they briefly show at the end when Mahiru is being contacted by the mother, it does seem to indicate that this company, this production company, is trying to essentially expand out. They see the success of Jelly, and they want to reproduce that. And so what they're doing is going, okay, who is the star of this production? Oh, it's Mahiru, which is actually, I think, going to possibly create an issue in itself. But yes, technically what they're doing there is seemingly, if it's based on business alone, if we're going to cut out the idea that Kano's mother is trying to get at her daughter, and they're looking at this as strictly a business move, they're going to Mahiru because they're seeing Mahiru is the reason why this is successful. And you can sort of argue that in a lot of ways in regards to the character itself. The jellyfish girl is what people are supporting in the end. When it comes to the point where they're trying to flood out the negativity, the thing that they're pointing out, the people that are pointing that out are saying, we don't care who's behind the jellyfish girl, which at this point is Tachibana. We care about the jellyfish girl, which means it's the perception of the visual that people see. Now, yes, a lot of that can be misconstrued, that they do support the jellyfish girl because of the songs and the story that she's telling, but they're supporting the jellyfish girl. And so that could be seen as the visual, the art itself. And that's what people are supporting, and that's what people are drawing, and it's drawing this bigger crowd. But it's obviously, seemingly, and this kind of goes back to, shoot, I was talking about this way back there. When we first seen Mello, the other girls of the group that Tachibana was a part of, One of the things they're pointing out there was that they were doing old stuff. Why are we still signing these things? Who uses CDs anymore? It was kind of pointing out this idea that Melo herself was sort of criticizing what they were doing as an idol group that was old school. We're still going to venues, we're signing CDs, who uses CDs, all that kind of stuff. Whereas, again, what Jelly's doing is they're going to the future. They're doing YouTube, they're live streaming, they're doing all this stuff online. And it's completely different than what at least Hayakawa Productions seems to be doing, or at least doing with that one group. So again, it could be that they're seeing the success of Mahiru and Jelly, and they're going, okay, she's getting viral, and it's obviously a visual thing. Let's pull her in and have her do illustrations, and so that we can capitalize on that. Which really does suck, because that gets in that middle area. I've started with the area where it's purely a business move. We get in that middle area where there's that conflict that Mahiru will be helping. I don't think she's going to do it. She could. Mahiru could be helping the group that Tachibana used to be a part of. And what was Kano trying to do? She was trying to beat them. So if Mahiru does get involved with this group, she's thus going to be assisting them and getting more popular, and thus working against their own group. Like it's a conflict of interest there. She's working for the other side when that's what Kano wants to do. Now, Kano has established in this episode that that's not her goal anymore. That her original goal was to stick it to them. Stick it to my haters. Show them, get my revenge. And now she has a better purpose, and that is to, obviously, sing for Mahiru. That's her new goal, is to provide something to her. Now, but despite saying that, it could still dredge up this badness in her. It could, despite the fact that I've found this new focus, and I'm telling myself I don't care about this anymore, if she's a normal human being, she's going to go, crap, no, I'm still bothered by that. And I don't really want you to help them out. It could turn into a bit of jealousy there and a struggle that she will have. No, I love your drawings, and now your drawings is going to the thing that I don't like and that I'm trying to get away from, or I'm trying to beat. So it's obviously going to dredge up there. Now, the other side of the spectrum, we've done, again, business, we've done the middle ground, and then we're going to go into, is this a nasty move by the mom to get at Tachibana? That's the massive question mark. And I have to admit that my initial thought process when I first seen her pop up on the screen is, she's going after her daughter. And what better way to go after her daughter? Start taking her talent. I think what it's doing is it's trying to give that misconception early on that this is going to be a power move by the mom to get at her daughter. And I don't know that's necessarily what it's going to go for, because again, it's painting the picture that Kano sees, but I don't think that's good. I don't think that's what it's going to be in the end. I think that's a little bit too easy. I think what it's possibly going to do is have where, yes, the mother does know that Kano is working for this group. It's all but said that the story is out there, and I'm assuming that if she sees any footage of it, she's going to immediately know. She's going to hear her daughter's voice and go, that's my daughter. Like, I think that she probably can hear her singing and go, yep, that's my girl. I think what it's going to be is that there's a side of me that almost wonders if she's going to, by proxy, help Jelly by helping Mahiru. Get Mahiru's art popular, and thus people will go to Jelly in order to get more of it, and that's going to help boost them. But there is also a side of me that, yes, is sort of going into the realm of nastiness, in that she could be doing it to get at her daughter and to get her daughter to come back. Well, if I can bring Mahiru in, that girl's going to go with her. That's too much assumption, though. I think that is too much of a big assumption. Or the idea that she's going to want to have an exclusivity with Mahiru and then say, well, come on in too. Well, yeah, well, she can only work with us. But you can work with her too. You just got to work with us. She's now part of this production group. But again, I think this is just strictly going to be a business move. And the side of that makes me believe that is it's going to be an aspect of, yes, my daughter found a very talented person, and the only reason I knew about that talented person is because I'm watching for my daughter, and then, hey, business is business. I'm going to use it. I have the power. Sorry, girl. You know, it is what it is. This is business, and I need her, because whatever you did here working out, so I'm going to use her. Whatever way it goes, I'm going to be very interested to see what direction it goes. We also got to see quite a bit of Melo, which she kept popping up. And again, every time that we see her, I've never seen some sort of sense of disgust, and I don't recall seeing any of that in this episode, because we've seen a few shots of different characters every time something came up. Like the drama, people supporting them during the live stream. I love seeing the mother-daughter routine, the Baba team, them basically cheering on. I was like, good girls. That was great. Seeing the sister of Kano just hurting all the time really sucked. And again, seeing Koharu as she's watching their journey and driving everywhere on a bike, apparently. She's going traveling for some reason. But all that stuff was good. And again, it sort of gave me an indication through those different snapshots that I don't necessarily think that Mello doesn't like Kano. And I think next episode we're definitely going to get to know that story. When we were watching this episode and we had the attack of the drama tuber, I'm like, it's coming. We have to know what happened. And I think it's definitely going to get there. And I think the thing that's going to be really curious is going to be really why Kano decided not to say anything. What is the point of keeping this a secret? Because obviously it's bugging people. And I'm assuming it's going to turn to one of those things where I hope that it's an aspect of her trying to protect her old group and protect her mother. Because again, she was doing all that for her mother. And there's a side of me that wonders if the reason that she's not saying what actually happened is because she doesn't want the group to be seen as bad. She's basically a martyr. She took it upon herself. If that's what they want to say happened, that's fine. Whatever, I'll go into the sunset, and that won't affect mom. Because I think when she was a part of that group, when she became a part of that group, when she was a part of that group, and even when she went to go leave, she was thinking the entire time, I'm doing this for mom. This is what she wants. And I think that's going to turn to a thing of self-sacrifice that she does. Yes, it could turn to one of those things of like, but nobody would believe me, so I never said anything. I agree with that at the same time. Like, I think that, I'm not sure if it's as much in Japan. It seems like it's as much as in Japan. Social media in general has created this mindset that you almost can't apologize for things because people just feed on it and they make it worse. And typically what it turns into, and what they did in this episode. This episode is a surefire sign of these characters going the route of, instead of trying to explain it, instead of fighting back, instead of denying, just create content people like. Drown it out with positivity. If you can create something that people love, guess what? They quickly forget about it. They just move on. Like, this is amazing. Who is this guy that keeps chatting in here and saying, my gosh, Tachibana, glad it's not... I like that comment, actually. Glad it's not in real life. It's just live streamed. That way nobody gets punched. Jerk. You're going to see those comments flying up, and then suddenly you realize everybody's going, dude, read the room. Enjoy the show. We love this. Create good content. Create something that inspires. Create something that people get excited about. And guess what? That's all they care about. They don't care if, did she punch somebody? I don't know. Did we ever hear about that? Is she not going to apologize? All that negativity suddenly gets flooded out by, holy crap, great performance. My gosh, that was amazing. Great art. Love that. My gosh, those vocals are great. Very, very interesting stuff. But we'll say, during that entire thing, and this kind of goes to my earlier discussion. I'm all over the place, by the way. Sorry. I will say it didn't really seem like many people, or at least when I watched this, especially this show, there's a lot of comments and a lot of text that's flying up on the screen with context as to what people are saying. And I don't really recall much of people talking about Tachibana or Kano, the vocalist. They were talking about the performance. They were talking about Mahiru, the art, again, the Jellyfish girl, and supporting her. And I think that goes to what essentially the mom's doing. She realizes, again, like I was saying earlier, Mahiru is the reason why this is getting big, which is really cool because, again, from the very beginning, it really did seem like Mahiru was the worst, and people were criticizing her art, and she was fighting to get better. And Kano was the one that was talented. She was the vocalist. She was a past idol. She can perform. She got a great voice, all this stuff. So, now granted, again, it's sort of a group effort. Like, it's all them together that creates the things, which is sad because things like, yes, Kiwi, with what she does, it's often seen as less important, or at least not as known as everything else. Like, yeah, you can have Kim making an amazing song, but everybody thinks about, my gosh, that singing was fantastic. They don't really necessarily, sometimes, most people, don't really hear that. Nobody thinks about, my gosh, that was a beautifully put together song. When you hear a song from a great vocalist, you go, holy crap, that was a great song. And you might acknowledge that, yes, the beat was great, the instruments was great, but you never think, okay, who's the composer? No, we barely do. We always see the person, the face that's on the cover. And I think that's a sad thing for somebody like Kim, who's making the music. You have Kiwi, who's producing the videos. Yeah, Mahiru gets a little more attention because the Jellyfish girl's everywhere. Who made the Jellyfish girl? And again, it goes to the vocalist. So, anyways, that aside, wow, I haven't even gone through the episode. Anything else in this episode that I really liked? Yeah, it pretty much opened up with them going, deciding that they wanted to do a gathering for a live, it's their year anniversary. I did want to note, really cool, in the opening segment, we did, well, not the drama tuber part, the opening segment with the girls, they were having their usual meeting, and I've seen people question this before. I mean, even last week, somebody on the Discord was questioning this, and I just assumed this was the case. Why does Kiwi still use her VTuber model when she's talking to the other girls of Jelly? Now, I assumed it was because she was uncomfortable. But even as she's meeting with them IRL, you assume that she would have that comfort then. But then that's when I shifted to the idea that despite the fact that she's comfortable with them, and she's meeting in real life with them, when she's in her cave, when she's at home, she is a shut-in, and she's not comfortable with broadcasting out. So she was still using her VTuber model, even when she was talking to the girls, because she's in like her shut-in mode. She's not comfortable with showing herself. Finally, at episode 8, we finally had her actually just using her webcam. She showed herself to the girls sitting in her room. I was like, when I seen that, it just immediately stood out to me. I'm like, holy crap, she's not using her VTuber model. She's actually comfortable with them enough that she's broadcasting her shut-in self. But it was still cute because they still even brought up that question. Well, we need to meet together. Well, I guess we could just set up a cam so that she can be there with us. Like, Kano is still being kind in that regard and being considerate about what Kiwi might need. But yeah, they end up going to a level. And Kim the entire time watching a video on loop about what Kano wanted, and she's about to buy like some two-person hotel or something like that just for the two of them. Oh wait, no, that's not the one. But yeah, she ends up choosing a love hotel. But it's funny because obviously everybody makes the joke, okay, she chose a love hotel, you picked a love hotel, and she didn't intend that, which makes sense because, yes, when they find the room, she chose it because of the room. The room looks like a jellyfish at an aquarium. Where else are you going to find an aquarium-themed room? Probably going to be a love hotel. But it was cute because Mahu goes in there and immediately knows what to do, and she's like, oh, so you've been here before. Nope, it's my first time like everybody else. Yeah, that's suspicious. You kind of implying the idea that Mahu has been to a love hotel or two. But that was cute. Then going in there, the cosplay from Kana was super cute. Loved the little outfit that she had. Again, technically killing Kim over and over and over and over again. What else? Yeah, they get the venue. They announce it out, and that's when the words come out. They expose that this girl of Jelly is, in fact, Tachibana, and we get a little bit of a issue with Kano facing her past and apologizing to the rest of them. But it was a good middle moment because it's her, I guess, correcting herself. Kano's thinking, okay, I'm just dragging you all along. I'm sorry my past is coming up. It's ruining everything. And they're like, no, you're not dragging us along. Yeah, initially, like Mahida's like, yeah, technically, initially, you did technically drag us in. But now it's because we want to be a part of this. We want to see what you've seen. We want to see that river of the glow sticks. And I like how she kind of mentions that idea that you initially see it looks like waves and it's really cool. But then at some point you realize some of them are kind of going the wrong direction or they're just off-timed. And then you realize, oh yeah, this is all the fans. Which I thought was a really bad out of context quote to have Kano in a love hotel saying, I want to be one with the fans with you guys. It's like, girl, you're in a love hotel. Don't say comments like that. Or at least the translation. Yeah, they're going to cancel it. Then we have Kim literally slamming down the money again. It sucks because it's like, girl, can let her do what she wants to do. If this is something that she wants to do to support the group, let her do it. But no, they can't have Kim pay for it. Now, she was technically putting down the money as compensation if something happens. And they decide, despite that, to just lock up the place and live stream it. Which, again, like, it kind of sucks. Just let her do what she wants to do. But yeah, they have the performance. They throw up all the fan art, and then they do the performance. Really cool little performance. And then, yep, they flood out the negative comments and then gets the attention of the mom. And that's pretty much what wrapped up. And I've talked about that to death, so I'm going to leave that as it is. I'll be curious to see exactly what comes from them. Like I said, the presentation itself said Sunflower Doll's new promotional strategy boosts recognition among a wider range of generations using video content that functions to agitate with a design policy that offers unexpectedness and future potential. I think what that's basically saying in I have to make a presentation that will fill the entire projector screen and look smart as a presenter is their way of saying, yes, Sunflower Dolls, the group that Tachibana was a part of, they're trying to figure out a new way of getting them out there. And the focus here is to boost recognition to a wider audience, mainly focused on different generations, a wide spectrum of generations, whether it be young or older. And they're obviously noting that the way to do that for this project is to utilize video and grab designs and whatnot that will capture this sense of unexpectedness and this future potential, which is typically in the idea of a young-looking character that has potential, their future and everything's ahead of them. That's kind of what they're going for, and I think that's probably tied into the Jellyfish thing, or the Jellyfish girl. So we'll see. Again, excited to see the next episode. Again, I really think that we're going to get into it, because I think the next episode is probably going to open up with, I'm thinking Mahiru. I'm curious if she knows who, she wouldn't know who she is. I don't know if they specifically said they want her to make art for that idol group. I think it's really just her reaching out and saying, I'm part of this production group. We want your art for something. And so it could turn to a thing where Mahiru knows immediately that that's the group that Kano used to be a part of, and then she'll go to Kano. Or she might meet up with them separately, and then later on, Kano will find out, or she'll tell Kano, and that might upset her. But I really do feel like this is going to be a moment we have to start getting into what happened with her previous group. So we'll see. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure that like button down below, comment. Let me know what's the thought of the episode. Let me know what your theories are. What do you think it's for business? Do you think it's to get at Tachibana? Let me know. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button to get my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list if it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have Patreon link, tips, links, who thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate what it does, and y'all take care.